and welcome to the Killtocraft podcast. This is episode 43 and I am Nessa or Vanessa, also known as Killtocraft on Ravelry and Instagram, and you can find me on my blog at www.killtocraft.wordpress.com. You can also find us in the Killtocraft Ravelry group. I think that's all the places. I'm hoping that my glasses aren't reflecting too much. So I've just had to do a bit of a garment change because I was wearing a long sleeve and I started to melt. So I've just done some of the video and had to delete it so that I could go and get changed. Deleted it because I didn't think it was that good. So bear with me. I last episode showed you a load of stuff that I was working on that were mainly works in progress. So this episode I'm actually showing you some of those as pretty much finished objects. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is my Ripple Bralette. So this is by Jessie Designs. It does fit, it stretches an unbelievable amount and it fits really nicely actually. I might try and put a little picture of me wearing it in rather than me showing it on. Look a bit funny with an orange background. Oh, it stand out really well. The only thing that I feel like is because it's such a, I think it's something like 9 to 11 inches of negative ease. Now my size that I am was the 11-inch negative ease, which is the most negative ease you have, and I feel like some of the fabric is very stretched like this, but to the point where I feel like it could almost be a little bit revealing, ever so slightly, especially around the nipple area. So I think I'm gonna think about adding some stitches in next time just to counteract that and adjusting it ever so slightly, but it does fit perfectly. I haven't blocked it yet. And the other thing is, when trying it on, is the binder from the back, although it seems loose enough to stretch out, like here you can see it's quite taut, and I feel like it could do with being could have been done with being cast off looser, but since I couldn't try it on at that point, it felt, well, I actually tried it on, felt okay, but then after doing the triangle portions and getting the straps on, this bit here with the triangle, the bust triangles, stretches enormously. It makes it quite tight, this area here around my bust, and also these back sections are really a little bit tighter than what I feel they should be. I think in hindsight I need a little bit more fabric in my back. So like, because my back needs more fabric, I think it's pulling the front and it's making these sit really tight. Could be wrong, but I think on my next occasion I might try adjusting this and seeing if it works up a little bit better for my shape. I'm a 38 bust and I knit the, it's on my Ravelry page if you do want to check. My Ravelry project pages tend to have all of the notes that I think I'll need, so it does have what size and I am and what size I picked on there. So yeah, I am intending on making a second one. The only other thing is that it's very hot over here at the minute and we're going through a bit of a heat wave. I can't really wear this because it's quite warm. The other thing is, I'm a little bit self-conscious. I know that everybody kind of is, but I'm currently at the minute trying to lose a little bit of weight, but not because I need to, it's because I want to be happier with how I look, because I used to be a lot smaller and I know I don't look big anyway, but I used to be a lot more petite. So I am trying to eat a little bit more healthier and eat proportionally as well as I exercise, kind of thing. So rather than, so that I'm not, if I'm not exercising enough, then I definitely can't excess in the eating department, you know, vice versa. But basically I'm a little bit, I'm not really size conscious, I'm more shape conscious. I feel a bit uncomfortable about my shape. I'm very hippie and I carry weight in my stomach, and since like the last couple of years I figured out this summer that I am actually gluten intolerant and milk intolerant, like but not lactose intolerant. I think I'm intolerant to the protein in milk because lactose free things still trigger me. So over the past 2 or 3 years I've carried a lot of weight in my stomach because of bloating, and I think it's given me a little bit of a complex. I found it hard anyway. After my teenage years I gained weight due to depression, and I went from a size 8 to a size 16 in the space of 6 months. So it's quite a lot that I put on. I had stretch marks all over. I've got one that's still scarred my stomach because it was such a drastic amount of weight. So bearing that in mind, wearing this out in public would be a huge deal to me. Probably isn't going to happen unless I've got something to go over it, even if it's something that's just sheer. So I'm gonna have a look. I've already got an oversized shirt that I love to wear that's got like blossoms on that'll go perfectly with this in like a light shade of pink, and it's got like blue detail in it that's similar, so it'd look really cute. But I am going to keep my eye out for some more sheer kind of t-shirts to wear over it in the summer. The other option is that I also wear it as a piece of nightwear. So we'll see. But I am going to make a second one. We'll see if my love for the ripple crop grows and see if I gain a bit of confidence to wear it at some point. You see, it's awkward, isn't it? Because wearing things like this, you kind of think it's beach kind of wear. I don't live in a city where it's beach orientated. It can be also quite grey and dark and dreary weather, so where I'll get a chance to wear it is questionable, but we'll see. I do love it though. It's a really nice project and I love seeing everybody else's. The next finished objects that I have are my Felici socks. So this yarn is by Knit Picks. It's Felici sock and it's their Pinata colourway. And I have made them so that they are matching all the way throughout. I used the Dave pattern by Coop Knits, which this is now my 9th pair of using that pattern, and I've given myself a little purple edging on my cuffs. I usually try to do that because I kind of like how the cast on edge looks in another colour, so I do sometimes try to do that on my socks. And I use the Afterthought round heel version because it gives a nice fit to your instep. So I finished those, and then I went into my Ravelry and counted all of them that I've used the Dave sock pattern because I use it fairly often, and I've kind of hashed with a number now on each pair that I make so that I can see. So my next pair that I make will be pair 10. I don't think I've ever knitted anything 10 times, so that's kind of an achievement, but it means that it's obviously a favourite because I knit it that often. So that is my Felici Dave socks. my next finished object is my Stitchonomy, I think it was Stitchonomy, my Sashiko stitching. I feel like maybe I should have ironed it before I put it back in the hoop, but I have stretched it over my hoop. It's just here, it looks a bit wrinkly on the camera. It doesn't look quite as bad in person. But I stitched around the back, kind of like whip stitched it down so it's neat, and then I'll probably at some point I'll get a piece of felt glue over the top of that, and this is going to go on my wall somewhere. I really loved working on that. It's nice to have a stitching project. The next finished object that I have is a pattern. It's a commercial brand, King Cole. I'm not really keen on how they photograph their leaflets. I don't think they make the garments look nice. They make them look really old-fashioned and cheap. And I'm not keen on the yarn that I used, which was also King Cole, because I feel like it's a bit cheap, but it will wash well. So this is a baby sweater shirt. That was one of their designs. They did have a long sleeve version, a short sleeve, and they had a version that was like contrasted sleeves to the body, and it's got like a button fastening on the neckband, so I just need to get a button for that, and that's just so that you can get it over the baby's head a lot easier. Adds a little bit of extra width to the opening. I kind of like that detail, so I just need to get a button from there. And I mainly liked it because it was speckled, and it was like colours that were a bit more a boy could wear or a girl, because it was, I started this before I knew that I was having a nephew who's due in October, so I started this as a unisex garment. So I got that finished. I just need to block it out, add the button, Bob's your uncle. So, and it's just an acrylic base. I weren't keen on the yarn. I think it feels quite cheap. I usually I kind of picked something that I thought, oh, that's going to be easy washable. You know, 100% acrylic for babies, easy washable. The mum isn't going to have to faff about hand washing everything she owns for the baby, and especially in case the baby gets sick on it or anything like that. So I did the first size, which is the 0 to 3 months for this one. I am planning on making another sweater, a different pattern, that I'm going to make a little bit larger, so it'll have it through the winter months. So that's that. Like I say, I kind of wish that I'd used a different yarn, but there is plenty of other occasions to make another baby sweater, so it's fine. It'll do. And then this is a finished object, kind of. I still need to give him a tail. He's a bit tailless, but Moomin is pretty much ready now. He's got his arms and legs, his body is nicely padded out, and I love him. He's super cute. He's been sat on my desk. I just need to finish a tail. So the tail comes out and then it widens, like increases and decreases into a point, and it's stuffed. And it'll get sewn on at some point later. But isn't he cute? He's come out really well. I'm very happy with him. So that's the end of my finished objects. Whips. Not really gotten any. So this past week I've had a little bit of time off. I've had a bit of a staycation, and I finished most of these the first couple of days of my staycation, and then we did me and Will went and had a few days out, and then yesterday I just didn't know where to put myself. I don't want to work on two of my oldest whips, can't even look at them. They I cast on when my mum weren't well the second time round, and it's kind of left them with some kind of bad feeling, and I just can't look at them. I'm half debating ripping them out, which seems super sad, but I just can't see myself picking them up either. I just can't bear to look at them. The other projects that I have on my needles I haven't picked up in weeks, which isn't very good for me, because usually if I'm really into a project I will carry on knitting and knitting. So yeah, kind of lost steam on that one a little bit. I feel like I'm back in a rut again, which is really horrible, and I don't want to be in that place. I'm also trying not to freak out about it. I have wound yarn, and I did buy the pattern for a new sweater, which I'm intending on casting on tonight, but only if I do some more work on a couple of designs that I'm working on at the minute. So I kind of need to do that, and then I can treat myself to something a bit more fun afterwards. I am kind of freaking out because I don't want to be in that position where I've got nothing on the needles, and that's how I feel at the minute. I haven't got very much on the needles. I do have intentions on things that I want to create though, so maybe I should talk about those. So I bought some yarn. I moved it really far away and back again. So I bought this yarn. Two I bought at Woolmonty, and then one I bought at Yarndale. So the one I bought at Yarndale is this awesome purple colour. This is a neon purple on a singles base, and this was by vickibrowndesigns. Isn't it gorgeous? So I bought this firstly. That was an impulse buy because I just found it and thought it was gorgeous. Then I bought these two at Woolmonty. Don't play them out. Stupid camera. So this one, which is kind of a chocolatey colour, chocolatey rusty brown. And then this one, which is the same kind of colour, but I think you'll be able to see there's like, I'll put in a photo after this, but there's some blues, there's spots of pink, and it's just really pretty. Pops of pink are quite fairly reminiscent of the neon purple. When I put up a picture you'll be able to see a little bit better, but these three I'm thinking for my Zweig. So these two will be for the body of the Zweig, alternated, so you'll get the speckles in but just not as often because this is more of a tonal, and then this for the yoke. I think it's going to look really pretty. And so yeah, so that's my intention there. I don't know what's holding me back making these things. It's like I'm fearing not finishing them. I think that's my problem. The other thing is I want to make the Sinister cat sweater, and it's basically a contrast bottom, main for the bottom and a contrast top, and it's got one row of cats around the yoke, and that will be for my nephew, and that will be the sweater that I do in the larger size for him, which I'm excited about. Just not cast on yet. I even have the, in fact, one second, I even have the colours picked out for that. So for the mane I was thinking this kind of grey, bluey, icy tone blue colour, and then for the mane I was going to use, no, for the contrast I was going to use this bright blue. I figured this grey blue would be nearer to a cat colour than the bright blue, so this will be a background. I think it'd be cute. So that was my idea for that when I get going. I also have some stitching intentions. If I open this little drawer down here, I got a little kit that was from, sounds really cheap, but I got it from Aldi, and it came as a kit with instructions, and it came with like the Ada and the embroidery flosses, and it was a hippo and a giraffe. I really like them both, I think they're super cute. I am thinking that I'm more likely going to make the giraffe first, and as I say, it comes with like the charts to work them, so I'm intending on starting those as well, so they can be like a little bit of a nursery piece to gift, and I should probably get on with those because the baby shower is in about a month's time, so it's not far away either. You see, there's things I should work on but I keep putting off, and then obviously my design projects, which are work kind of, which are really exciting, and I want to get onto those, so that's what I'm going to do this afternoon for the remainder of my day, and I'm going to get on with working out my one of them I've already worked out my sizes, like the depths and things, and graded them. I'm going to be working on 10 sizes, so range from 28 to 66 inch, and I'll be doing 10 sizes, so that's really exciting. I'm going to try and do 10 sizes for all of my patterns in future, so that's exciting. One of the designs I am actually doing is an update of an original design that I did years ago, and I've been contacted by a lovely dyer that I adore so much and love her work, and I'm really excited to be collaborating with her, so that's really exciting. So I'm going to be working on that to like resize, get down the new sizes, to make that range really available to anybody. I think that's it. So yeah, really great start to my week this week. Things that I've been up to, I might as well discuss things that we've been doing. So this week me and Will, we ventured out to Whitby for one of our days, so that was really nice. We had fish and chips. We also had like a really nice like bistro sandwich lunch, which was really beautiful, and it's kind of hidden behind the back of one of the main streets in Whitby, to the point where I didn't realise it was so cute behind there. It was like covered in flowers. It was like a little garden with like tables outside, and then inside was a tea room, and then at the back of the tea room was more like a lounging coffee area where you could have cake and coffee, and there were sofas, but we had our sandwich outside because it was really warm and it was beautiful, and it was just such a nice day. We potted around, treated ourselves to a couple of things. I got in one of the charity shops there, I got one of the yarn magazines by the Sheppies yarn company, and they do like a magazine. I think it's about £7, and I found it in the charity shop. It was only £2, so I treated myself to that, and then I also bought myself a bum bag, a fair trade one, so that I could carry around my sock knitting in future, because we went to a car show a few weekends ago and I was carrying my ball of yarn under my arm while knitting, and I was like, I really could do with just a little bag to be able to do the job for me. So I have actually bought a bum bag now, and it's big enough to fit like essentials in as well as a project. I can actually fit. It may look a little bit silly, because it probably sits out further than it should do, but I could actually fit 3 cakes of yarn in 100 grams. So if I wanted to take out a shawl and start knitting, I can do that now. Yes. I feel like I've leveled up. So yeah, I think that's all. Oh, what else did we do? No, we did go out another day. Can't remember what we did. You see, I'm getting old, people. I'm getting old. I can't even remember what I've done this week. It's really rubbish. We went to Whitby. Was that it? Anyway, we went to Whitby. Oh, we went to, we spent the day in Leeds as well, and we went to have a cinema day out. Well, my friend Charlotte has come back from China, so we had a really fun time, and we went to see Midsommar, which is a horror movie based on the Swedish holiday Midsommar. And basically it's a horror movie that's done out in daylight. It's a little bit culty, it's a little bit gross. Like, I can't the first bit of horror in it was very shocking to the point where I was just like, what the, like, and it continued slightly to the point where I was like looking in one corner of the screen because I couldn't face seeing what was happening happen again and again. It was a bit brutal, but it kind of plateaued then, and kind of what happened in instances of gore didn't really develop that much. But the whole story for me felt super unsettling, disturbing and unsettling. And there was only me and Charlotte that felt like that, whereas the lads didn't feel like that at all. I felt it was very unsettling because it left me feeling tense. Like, I was feeling her anxiety and panic in the film. And when I feel like that, usually then, if I come away from a film and I'm still feeling like that, I felt like I'd been on a bit of a roller coaster ride, and I think Charlotte felt like that too. So, but it was really good. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it all evening then. It definitely left an impression. So apparently the director also did Hereditary. I've not seen that yet, but it is one that I'm going to look into seeing, because apparently that's a bit more like a horror movie, whereas this one is a little bit more, it's not as horror based apparently as Hereditary is. So, but I really did enjoy it. I thought it was really great. And then the other thing that I've been doing is reading. I'm gonna sneeze. I'll try and remember to cut that out. Hay fever. I've been reading Cassandra Clare. She does a book that's based on the Shadowhunters series, and I'm reading City of Bones, and I'm just over halfway through. I keep picking it up and putting it down after like 10 pages, and it's because I'm tired lately that I just can't seem to read more than 10 pages without nearly dropping to sleep. So I do need to pick that up a little bit more during the day, I think. I have managed to get to this week I managed to read about 70 pages. Really could do with reading 70 in one day rather than just like 10 a day, but swings and roundabouts. So I think that's all I have for you today, but I hope you've really enjoyed the episode. I haven't got much in the way of housekeeping, but just to remind you, we do have the Archive Along 2019 running in both mine and Twee's podcast group, which is Twisted Stitches podcast. We both tend to do our cals together and we love that. So please come in and join us both. It's for double dipping for prizes, and we are drawing for each of the quarters. I haven't drawn for 2 of mine just yet. I will do that next time. Thank you for coming by and watching my podcast, and I hope that next time I will have some whips to show you. Cross fingers. Thank you, and see you soon. Bye!